Today I want to share something in English as the impulse for a process that brought me to a deep insight took place in English. The sentence that came out for me after the first part of this process was a question to myself or an invitation to myself, allowing myself fully with all that I am, with all that belongs to me. In my, I want to say in my head, in my mind, in my brain, in my understanding, there is a clarity about what I consider what unconditional love is concerning accepting oneself, accepting myself with in every moment, every second, with what I'm experiencing outside and inside. Self-judgment, for example, self-hatred, for example, as well as being amused about myself, not standing, not being able to carry myself in a moment, not able to hold my feelings in a certain moment, experiencing joy, experiencing anger, hatred, sadness, experiencing emptiness, loneliness, fear. My head was pretty clear about that this is what I'm longing for, to be able to accept myself in any moment with anything that I am in that moment as a human being, with my nervous system, with my biochemistry running through my blood, my veins, with the relaxation or total tension of my muscles, with pains in my joints, with thoughts that are against myself or for myself and against others, just accepting myself. And I had this idea, which is really coming from my earliest days as a child, that I always want to be authentic. I want to be honest. I want to be real. I want to be true. I don't want to fake. I don't want to wear a mask. I want to be open and transparent. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I want to reveal myself. And little children are like that. They're just open-hearted to reveal themselves and to put themselves on stage as they are. And most of us as children experience times when whoever we are with, this other person, is not capable of taking us, accepting us as we are as children. So more or less unconsciously, I decided to not be honest all the time anymore, to not be authentic anymore all the time, to fake every now and then, to adapt and to push away parts of myself that really want to be true. And for a long time, I more or less was fine with that because I realized life is more peaceful when I am not authentic all the time. And then came a time when I consciously realized that I'm really suffering not being authentic, not being honest. I realized that I'm longing for getting rid of this mask, which is almost glued to my face or my being, and it's so hard to take it off because I've been practicing it so long, for decades. And there was this longing to finally get back to this natural behavior of honesty and open-heartedness and authenticity. And there was a deep struggle and a deep discontentment about experiencing myself falling in this old pattern over and over and over again, meeting certain people, experiencing certain situations, and when they are over those situations, realizing I haven't been authentic again. I have been faking again. I haven't been honest again. I was so convinced that this time I will be able to be authentic. And then again, this old pattern grabbed my behavior and turned me into what I didn't want to be anymore. And this process, which I had, and which started off with another process during the last days and came to some very deep experience today, was that it's time, it's up to me now to accept my inauthenticity, to accept my capability of faking. It is something that human beings can do. It is something that was added to my natural not faking, to my early natural authenticity. Life gave this new option to me to be inauthentic. It was a gift, a present from life to me in my earliest days and years to create some kind of peace. As I realized it's the contrary of peace that happens when I'm authentic. So I started to choose, do I want authenticity and small social walls between me and my family or my friends or whoever was around me? Or do I choose inauthenticity and peace? It's up to me to choose that. That's what really came up for me. It's up to me, my own decision. What am I choosing? I'm finding out about a certain situation. I'm getting to know certain people around me, and I'm realizing how my behavior affects them. Are they capable of carrying, of bearing me in my authenticity and themselves in their reaction to it? And can we then continue being in contact, in relating to each other in an authentically peaceful way? Or are we both falling, or one of us falling into peaceless behavior? It's a deep insight that I had for myself today, and it's still new. There's still a doubt inside of me. Do I really want that? What do I choose? And I'm coming up with the idea, if I choose moments of inauthenticity, to have a momentary peace in a meeting with a person, in a connecting, in a relating with a person, as I'm realizing my authenticity is not bearable at that moment, then the next step I can take is realizing that, accepting that, and saying, for my own peace, I'm choosing to have this certain contact, to keep this certain contact as short as possible. Because I'm not really in peace when I'm inauthentic. So the peace with myself is not given totally when I choose inauthenticity for an outside peace. But which peace is more important for me? So when the outside peace is kept because I chose inauthenticity, and I can leave the situation after a short time and come back to myself and be in peace with my inauthenticity and say, okay, and now I can relax, and now I want to return to authenticity. And now I want to look out, who can I go in touch with? Who can I go in contact with? Who can I go relating with? Who's capable of bearing my authenticity? Who I am capable of bearing their authenticity, to have outer mutual peace. That's what I'm looking for. And on my way, on my path, on my quest to finally find people that can bear me and that I can bear, staying really honest and open-hearted and authentic in the relating, in the being in contact with each other. Not me being authentic about some topic that is not between us, some opinion that I have. I can be authentic about some opinion that I have. But what about the real contact between those two people, between me and the other? Can we stay authentic and honest, without a mask, without faking, without hypocrisy? And if on this path to find the situation, if on this path we need to pass by situations where inauthenticity is the thing that should be chosen, then I am in peace with that. Then I am willing to choose inauthenticity for a couple of minutes, as short as possible, to then return back to authenticity. Well, what was a heavy insight? But that's for me what it means to fully bear myself, to fully accept myself, with all the added and on top given options I have, behavioral patterns I have. I have learned my behavioral patterns well, and now I'm getting conscious about them, and I can actually put them on the shelf and say, okay, they are there too. Which situation am I facing now? Which of all my original natural skills and my given put on top skills, which one am I choosing now to have a relatively peaceful situation? And maybe misgrabbing every now and then, and waking up after a situation is over and saying, well, I didn't make it this time. What I chose actually did cause a little tiny war, a conflict. Okay, I'll try again. I start again, over again. I will continue. I will try again. What do I choose in which situation? Thank you for listening.